terms, this is a 4 foot by 8 foot adventure trailer. I don't like calling it an overland trailer because really all I am using this for is to haul dirt bike, go-karts, camping supplies, pretty much everything you would do with an overland trailer. This is some leftover 3/8. 3/8? No, this is 1/4 inch. Quarter inch 3x3 angle that I had from another project, that I had cut up from another project. Was a flatbed for the Toyota, but when I sold the Toyota, the guy didn't want the flatbed, so it's gonna become a trailer. I'm not gonna walk through how to do it all, because if you want to see how to do an actual trailer build, go back to my 20-foot car trailer build. That will show you exactly how to measure out the axles and all that stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put you on time lapse. I've already squared it. I've already tacked in 3 of the cross members, the front one, the middle, one in the middle, and this one. And I'm gonna be doing some trimming because you can see some leftover material from when I cut this thing apart. Re-weld it. You can see here, these pieces are longer, and they're actually longer than the tongue itself. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut those, and I'm gonna V them in to the tongue. So it's actually gonna have a V-nose on the front of the trailer. Just for that extra support. I don't like the idea of having all of that weight just being on that middle, that front middle cross member, and on the tongue is 1/4 inch 2x2 square tube. So adding the 3x3 along with it, that'll make it a lot stronger, and I'll be a lot more comfortable with it. I have a tendency of building things a little bit over what needs to be built, but ain't none of my shit's broke yet. So we'll keep going. Well, here's your update. I came out for an hour last night and an hour tonight. I did end up picking up a piece of 2.5 inch because the original tongue that was on it was a little short, and it was only 2 inch. So I did pick this up. I picked it up out of the scrap bin. I got my tongue on there, I've got my bracing on there, so now I feel a lot more comfortable with any kind of weight on the front of this, and if I decide to later on down the road, I can chop this tongue off and get a different one that follows that angle, which I believe is 35. Off the top of my head, I can't remember. But we still need to take the cutoff wheel and cut those pieces off. We need to cut these pieces off, and we're gonna take this and we're gonna fill in these pieces here. Remember, the majority of this I'm reusing stuff that I already had. So that's really, that piece and these 2 pieces are the only new pieces of steel that I purchased for this. And again, I'm doing as budget as I possibly can. So we'll cut that off, this one here sticking off the edge too, and then we're just gonna leave this one here and this piece for the tail lights to mount to. And I have a filler piece for that section right there, which is actually this piece here, which is left over from the tongue. And it's gonna go straight up and down with a bolt coming off of it, and that's where I'm gonna go ahead and mount my spare tire. Then I have some angle and stuff that I got. This scrap bed thing here. I'm gonna take that angle and I'm going to build up and over and down so I can mount my propane grill on the side here and a propane tank over here. And then we'll be able to run the go-kart and the dirt bike up on it. But everything's tacked in. Tomorrow I'm gonna go ahead and get a hold of my torch, and all of this stuff is so thick I have to preheat it before I weld it fully, so that way I know I got a good amount of penetration. We'll weld the top side completely, flip it over, weld the bottom side, and then we'll start putting our shackles and axle underneath it. So that's the update for now. All right, so I'm just taking my little propane torch here, and I'm just heating up this metal, trying to get rid of any moisture that's in it. We got her cleaned up quite a bit, and we're just gonna go ahead and make sure we get some good penetration. Job goes a lot smoother when you got a helper that's preheating the metal before you get to it. Here's the next update. We got the top side welded all out. We preheated and welded everything. They're not the greatest looking welds in the world, but by God, I think they're gonna hold it. We've got everything welded out. That one's definitely not the prettiest weld in the world, but these ones here, just ones that matter, plenty strong enough. So we got 2 cross members to put in here. We got some shit to cut off here. We'll flip the trailer over, clean and weld the bottom sides. And that's when we'll start setting up our axle. All right, it's flipped over. Now we got some welding to do. We're gonna weld this here. We're gonna come in here, we're gonna weld these. We're gonna weld them up. And then I have another piece that's gonna go in between here to box that in. And we'll weld those on each side, that on each side. And boom, and boom. And I'm gonna take the grinder, I'll V this out and weld it really, really good. And we'll weld those. And I've got a piece that goes in here. We'll put that in there, we'll box that in so it'll be nice. And we'll weld that up. And we'll get these cut off. And those ones up there cut off. And then I've got the cross members there. And then we're gonna start lining up and fitting our axle and springs. Don't forget to like and subscribe.